Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a not hungover Wednesday episode of the No Contest Wrestling Podcast. I am the heel that you love to hate, O'Shea Jackson Jr., a.k.a. Petty Guerrero.
I jumped the gun on my, so that's going to look awkward. But anyway, hey, yo, it's me, it's G-double-O, the J-I-double-G, 2 Jiggy, TJ Jefferson. What up, though? It is 11:50. It's late here. All right, I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You're back in Los Angeles,
Yeah, but we got a job to do, and we love y'all. We love y'all so much because, man, a good going to sleep would feel great. I feel like Vegas is creeping back up on me, TJ.
We went to Vegas. A time was had. Let's chronologically, I guess, try to break this down. So we get to Vegas. You got there Wednesday. I got there Thursday. I left the Eisen show. What did we do Thursday night? We hung out a little bit. Oh, you went to dinner. I went to dinner. We didn't go to dinner together. We had different things going on. But then the next day, we had to get up bright and early because we were recording the pre-show at, I don't know, we had a 6:45 a.m. call time is all I know. It was early in that piece. But yeah, we made it there at 6:50, which is essentially in entertainment world, that's on time.
Right.
Just 5 minutes. So yeah, we got set up. I think we did the right play. If you didn't see it, wearing the suits was a nice touch.
Solid. We look great.
Felt good about that. Shout out to our boy Rafa, who was holding it down there. Everyone back in Bristol who helped get us through the show. Because that's something new for us. Normally, when someone's in our ear, they're in the other room when we're in our normal studio. But this time we are in Las Vegas. We're working with ESPN in Bristol. So we had the directors and everybody there in our ear. And we had a pretty basic setup on how we wanted to do the show. And other than that, it was just wing it. And is winged it a word? Can I say, can we winged it? Whatever.
Yeah, we wung it. Yeah, and that once again, not to just continue to pat ourselves on the back, which we will. That's what you need when you have chemistry. You can wing it. So I wouldn't want to do that with anybody else in the world, TJ. That was a milestone for us, a milestone for the show, and I feel like we crushed it. That they're asking for a couple more episodes from your boys. They asked it for us back at the Mouse's
we didn't
house.
ask them.
Yeah, we not pushing, but we are getting the push.
We didn't ask John Cena to come on the podcast. John Cena asked us.
No. Yeah, it's just like it's just the flavor. We doing something right out here, and once again, it's all thanks to the response that we get from you guys, continuing to grow the show. Shout out to my man Joe, who I'm sorry you didn't have a cool entrance, but it's no contest, baby. We've been doing this for a while now. We got our fan base, we got our things to do, but he was great. Shout out to obviously Last Legend, Nia Jax, they were amazing. R-Truth and Damian Priest, let's just say they were funnier than what the cameras were able to show. They're hilarious, man. We definitely got to get them on for a much longer episode, though.
Absolutely. And then Joe, you mentioned Joe Fortenbaugh of ESPN, who I've always been kind of a fan of his. He always has a unique, particular approach to when he gets on like these sports shows. It's a little different. So I like his humor, and I like what he did, and it was a pleasure having him, of course, as well. Yeah, man, we kicked it off with Joe Fortenbaugh. Then we had Lash and who came first?
No, Priest and Truth first.
Priest and Truth, and we got to talk to them a little bit. We didn't get too in detail. Obviously, time, right? We have maybe 15 minutes, right, to do this interview. So we can't really get into it's hard to get into a real flow with your normal, there are questions. Obviously, we like to ask everyone different stuff, but we do have our staples that people seem to like, and that's the reason they became the staples, because we noticed that these questions are the ones that resonated the most or would get the most comments. So, but it was good to just get to talk to them, get to chop it up with our truth. And let me tell you something. At one point, I'm talking to the producers back in Bristol. Our truth is sitting to my right. I have one ear in. Now, anyone that knows, that's an IFB. And so it's in my left ear. My mic is here, and I'm talking to the director for about, I don't know, a minute. And then all of a sudden, our truth reaches over and taps me on the arm. And I look over, he's like, "Hey, dog, you talking to somebody?" And I turned and I showed him my ear. I was like, "Yeah, I'm talking to the producers back in Connecticut." He goes, "Dog, I thought this whole time you was talking to yourself."
Like, okay, here we go.
And it was the most R true thing because it's like, did this man really think I was talking to myself? Or was
It's,
he legitimately just like messing around our truth style? That's the beauty of it. You just don't know.
you never know, man. It was 7:30 in the morning. It's his first time on No Contest, and he's just see you.
Mhm.
Okay, okay.
And I
Who
can see
knows?
what it looked like. Yeah. It's like, ah.
But
But
they
yeah,
got there, they crushed it.
yeah,
We were able to
that was
give
really
Truth some
cool.
flowers too, which I was really
Yeah.
happy about
Yeah,
because he deserves it.
I was able to bring up his time as the NWA World Champion, something that we'd love to go into further detail with. But at that point, that was a different hard truth. There wasn't a lot of like comedy
Yeah,
to Raw and the Truth killings back in those days. So for him to be able to add the comedic nature to his character while always being able to at a second flip back into like the killer, the K Quick persona
yeah.
says a lot about him as a performer. And, we got to chop it up about that a little bit. Him being a funny kid. I know he told a funny story about when he was, oh, yeah, he would always clown around so much that wasn't it the principal decided to give him time in either the library, I think he said, to essentially
So,
just go out there and make people laugh in
yeah, man.
school. And that was pretty interesting.
Dude, he's somebody that like there's a trope out right now that people are like, man, we made the right person famous because like at the end of the
Yeah,
day, the people are who help push people in the entertainment industry, and you can
yeah,
just tell he's a good dude.
yeah,
I can't wait to know about that upbringing, what got him to
yeah,
that point, and like he said, he was like, making people laugh. I'm the most recognized I ever been in my life right now.
yeah.
And like that's huge, that's a beautiful thing, especially in that business where that'll keep your job. We see it did, like and
Mhm.
yeah, that I don't know. I feel like when we have our truth episode, man, that might be that might not only is it going to be full of laughs, well, that might be a tearjerker. I know
You
it's
never
something
know. Yeah.
something behind those eyes. I can't wait for that truth episode. When we finally be able to sit down on him representing No Contest because on that we was representing ESPN too. We
Yeah,
were we was
for
we
sure.
was on the mouse's clock. And if anybody wants to check that out, because I feel like we did a good job, TJ. I feel like we
Yeah, it
crushed.
was worth it. It's
Yeah,
worth looking
those
at.
yeah, those with the obviously to watch WrestleMania, you need the ESPN subscription, but it's on Disney Plus. It was crazy to see you can search up No Contest on Disney Plus, but you should be able to do all the time. And yeah, it was great to see. And you can see our Nia Jackson Lash Legend interview as well because we were on our best behavior. Don't y'all worry. Don't y'all worry. We was chill. We
Yeah,
were chill.
that was fun too.
Yes, but the nitty gritty. Night one, TJ.
Yeah,
Night
man.
night one of WrestleMania. Now we were we a little slight little funny story about the tickets. We thought we didn't have our tickets, and then we kind of did. People.
Tickets went to spam, whatever. It was in the
Yeah,
spam.
like who
You know, it
checks
was-
spam?
I know I never did. But there they were. So, we were afraid we were going to miss the show, but we didn't. We had some tickets. Shout out to the people who got those
Yeah.
for us, and then headed to the arena, the stadium, and settled in, man. And it was first and foremost, if you guys have ever seen the TV show Reacher, in the last season of Reacher, Reacher fights a literal giant. Okay.
A behemoth,
And
if you
he was
will.
a behemoth, and his name is either Oliver or Olivier Richter's. You know how sometimes it
Yeah,
gets weird.
a
But
little
anyway,
twang on
we
it.
ran it, yeah, ran into him backstage, and I want to bring that up because with all the celebrity involvement in this WrestleMania, here you have a 7'2" bodybuilder who's also an actor, and you would think that maybe having him be on Randy Orton's side instead of McAfee or Jelly Roll, that would have seemed a little bit more intimidating. But I digress.
Yeah,
We'll keep going. So
I mean, like
night
he just
one,
did a movie. He just did a movie with Cody. I would think
yeah.
like, all right, you got McAfee out here. Respect to Jelly Roll because that's my dog. It might not have been a bad idea to have Zangief climb over that wall.
Yeah, because this whole thing that went down, fans were really kind of up up in the air about, or in an uproar, I guess I should say, about this celebrity involvement. And you see someone like that, if that guy was involved,
Yeah,
more people I think would have been into it. But he wasn't. We can't rewrite it. We can only respond to what happened.
and
So
everybody
John
knows
Cena,
I hate it when a celebrity think they know what they're talking about some wrestling. That is just some garbage.
so we kick it off with John Cena. He comes out, he's the host, he welcomes everybody to
Yeah,
WrestleMania. It was really cool to see him. And then the show gets kicked off. The Usos come out through the crowd, which is pretty cool. LA Knight
yeah,
joins them, and then they take on the Vision and I
yeah,
Show Speed. And the match probably it went as I guess as well as it could go. When you have
yeah.
one guy who's a celebrity, not an actual wrestler, but I Show Speed is incredibly athletic. And it was funny. We're in the crowd before the show started, and I go, how are you going to sell this match to people? You have one of the greatest tag teams ever, LA Knight, against a pretty new tag team and a guy who's not a wrestler. And you said I Show Speed is
Oh, bro,
the
he's top
version
three
just
athlete of all time.
right.
of
And then so I
all
go,
time.
I literally he says this and I go, really? And then you think and you're like, yeah. And then someone in front of us turns around and said, that's because he came from my testicular region, and it was I Show
Yeah,
Speed's dad. So it was
yeah.
pretty cool. We got to chop it up with him. Apparently, we were on I Show Speed's uh I guess his live
Extreme.
stream, which as we
Yeah,
know
bro.
gets millions
In front of the
of views,
millions.
gets millions of views. So we got to, I guess we were in the background of that a lot. And,
Yeah,
the match went according to plan. I guess,
yeah.
there's no way LA Knight and the Usos should have lost, and they didn't. They won that match. They went over. I'm not even sure if this is in order. It's just the way I wrote it down. I went to CVS and got a brown paper bag, and I used that to make notes
That's
on
how
because I
much
didn't
he
have any
loved
paper.
y'all.
You know what I'm
Professional.
saying? So right there. So let's just go to this. New
Yeah,
tag team champions. We spoke about Lash and Nia earlier. They were in
yeah,
a fatal four-way for the tag team championships, along with Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, and Lyra, and Brie Bella, and Nikki Bella, who comes out with a boot on her foot. We know she had some ankle problems, announces she can't go. Here comes a replacement, and it's Paige,
yeah.
and
The Page
people
Turner herself.
lost their mind. Yeah, and it was
Yeah,
great because at one point I will tell you that Paige was, obviously my love for Oscar, but at one point Paige was my favorite female wrestler for years. I thought, she was the anti-diva and then NXT coming up. She was a little bit different than the rest of the other girls and kind of gravitated towards her. She had her neck issues. She went to another company. She left there, and this
yeah,
was her return home. Literally, this was a homecoming for her. And I kind of, even though Nia and Lash, man, they've just been dominant, and them coming out dressed like Demolition with
yeah,
Demolition in the crowd, that was such a nice touch, man. They came out in all white. I remember turning around and looking at the screen, and I was like, "Oh my God, they're dressed like Demolition!" Like
yeah,
that was amazing. But with Paige coming home, you kind of
yeah.
saw the writing on
And
the wall.
those who watch the show know that I I felt like the Bellas was getting that victory. Because it's like you didn't bring Brie Bella back to not give the Bellas this title, but then at the same time, TJ, they didn't give the Bellas the title.
They didn't. They
They
gave a
didn't.
Bella and Paige. So
Bella and
you
Paige,
know
which is insane. Like if I were to tell you that back in whenever the hell, that don't make sense. Like
well, it kind of does. They're from the same era. They both were
they're
total
from this.
divas.
Yeah, but they were
They never
going
had
at it
beef.
during that era. Like it's like
But the
the
Bellas and Paige.
when I think of the Give Divas a Chance, they're going against each other. Bellas are inseparable, except for that the one time that was pretty cool. But like
Yeah, they tried to
to
beat each
think that
other up.
a Bella won without her sister and it was the anti diva, it's just like I mean, I'd love to see it in the future, but there's something that that's a wrinkle that when Nikki gets healthy, she's gonna be like, all right, you give me my belt now. It's like, hold on, dog, I won this.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know because what was Nikki couldn't compete,
Yep.
so Brie had to have a. So I don't. I mean, I guess they could make beef out of it, but it would be kind of stupid because Paige did you a favor. That would mean turning one of them heel, and I don't know if they want the Bellas to be heels. I don't. Time will tell. Regardless, we got
Listen,
new women's tag team.
Nikki tested those waters with Stephanie McCare. That
Yeah,
heel, she a little off.
but
It's a
the Bella Army,
storyline that's right there.
but the Bella Army, and they're millions strong, are not going to boo them.
Yeah, exactly. So
So
she's fine with whatever she does, and we'll be cheering for
yeah, so we'll
Paige.
see. And I can see Nikki going, you guys keep the tag titles. She was looking after singles gold anyway. She wasn't thinking about tag titles. So this might be perfect for her to be like, all right, you guys concentrate on the tag. I'm going back, after a women's world, maybe Liv. Because we remember, before Liv got hurt, her and Nikki there was something going on there. Remember? It
Right.
looked like they were getting set up for a feud, then the injury happened. We didn't get it. A lot of ways they could go with this. Maybe that's one of them. So, but
Yeah, we
congrats to the
shall
new
see.
champions. Congrats to Paige for getting back in. And yeah, because there was a time it looked like she'd never be able to do this again. And
Yeah.
she's back in as a champion. Then what else we got next? Gunther. Gunther
Yeah.
defeats Seth Rollins. And I tell you, it was predictable, I guess, that Braun Breaker would come in and kind of put his stamp, if you will, on this match, right? But
Yeah.
up until that point, this was a really, really good match, I thought. Now, I haven't had a
Mhm.
chance to go back and watch it because when you're live, it's a
It's
little
different.
different than when you're watching
It's
on TV.
different.
I felt like the match was really good, man. And what I've been reading, there are a lot of people going, they were close to having a 5-star match before the interference. I don't know if it was 5 stars or not because we don't rank them like that.
Right.
But it's like we said, you don't always need a reason. There doesn't have to be a storyline. Like two guys might be in a bar and look at each other and decide they want to get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they go fight. There ain't no storyline. Obviously, there is going to be something. Gunther says Paul Heyman owes him something. We'll see what that is. But two consummate
Mm.
professionals, two great pro wrestlers, 2 weeks notice. Thought they put on a fine job.
Right. And yeah, like we said, there's it's something different about being there and only getting one angle of everything. Like when
Yeah.
you're live there, you get one angle of everything. So
And I'll be honest
I
with you, when people standing up a lot too, I didn't get to see as much of the match as I really wanted because
right.
you're getting blocked, so you're trying to see. So
Yeah.
that match, like I said, didn't have a chance to go back and rewatch it. But
Yeah, I was getting trashed on Twitter because, Bleacher Report, who, I mean, the only rating I know that they've gotten right is probably about Becky Lynch. But yeah, they kind of trashed night one. And I didn't necessarily, wasn't over the moon about night one. I being there, I was like, I'm about 7.8, which anything in the sevens to me is not WrestleMania standard. So, like, I'm not jumping through hoops to save night one, but I also said that I have to rewatch it to give it a fair
Mhm.
assessment because I was there live. Being there
Yeah,
live,
it's different.
it gives it low key a bump because you're having a good time. You're
Yeah,
excited
yeah,
to be
yeah.
at Mania, and like
Right.
I lost my voice 4 times this weekend. Like that never happens to me. So
Yeah.
it's just something that has to go into your mind when you're rating these things or you're telling other people about it. So I feel like once I get my sleep schedule together, TJ, I'll be able to rewatch WrestleMania because man, it's catching up to me pretty bad. But I felt like going into it, the story needed, they need something to happen because what does it do for Seth to lose to Gunther? Or what does it do
Mhm.
for, like Seth to get that win? And here comes Braun Breaker. And it was like, okay,
Yeah.
we're setting up some stuff. and
Yes,
Gunther getting a favor from Paul Heyman. All right, we're setting up some stuff. That's all I
that's what I was
need.
saying. Yeah.
That's all I need right there.
Just like I said, it's all right for them to fight once, but for this to continue, yeah. Favor, where's this going? But do they move off of this? Because this could have been a one-off. Because we have Braun and we have Seth, and there's your match. That's what we've been waiting for. What
Yeah,
does Gunther do now? Because he's kind of on to the side. Because I think Seth is going to concentrate on Braun.
yeah.
Braun's coming back for Seth, as was evident on Monday Night Raw when those two got into it. But yeah, we're going to be getting some Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins, and I feel it's going to be pretty good.
And it makes you question. When you hear a favor, it makes you think like Chief got that belt right now, and we'll get tonight too. But Chief
Mhm.
got that belt right now. Maybe it's a situation where Gunther is going after Chief, and he's surrounded by Samoans, and it's like I might need a couple of those Vision guys to have my back while I go after that title against Chief, and then like we need it adds an element of how much power exactly does Paul Heyman have? What is this favor that he's going to do? Because I know Gunther's not going to. Don't tell me he's going to use it on some random singles fight. You know what he has on his
Yeah.
mind. So, like,
It's got to
we
be.
shall see.
We shall see. I'm here for the ride, though. I tell you that much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next up, new women's world champion as Liv Morgan defeats Stephanie McCare. Kind of assumed that this was how it was going to go down with
Yeah,
Liv coming back. Also, with the Judgment Day, with the hard R's came back. We finally
yeah.
had Roxanne and Raquel back together. Of course, they
Sorry.
got involved. They got involved. Did you hear me scream, "Hi, Raquel"? I think that's what made me lose my voice at one point. But yeah, those two they were going at it, and we noted a lot of people noted that there seemed to be some real bad blood the way they were attacking and just beating the crap out of each other. So yeah, they got busy, and
Yeah, you knew how I felt about this because Stephanie McCare wasn't even at the poker table photo shoot.
yeah, that was kind of like your big thing. Like, how is she your champ?
Yeah,
She's not in the main,
and if you remember
promo package.
after the release of that, they added
They added
Liv.
lip. Yes, right.
Come on,
That's
guys.
right.
At least
That's
doll
right.
it up
Yeah.
for me a little better. Like, come
But
on,
I
read the tea leaves, baby.
but I think, yeah, so we got Liv now. She's a new champion. She's got the Judgment Day backing her up, and we'll see where Stephanie goes from here. I got a feeling though this isn't going to be the last time Stephanie McCare is your women's world champion. Way too talented, way too over with the fans. Steph solidified herself as a main eventer, so she's going to be in this picture for years to come. And that's part of the what you want to do, right, Shay? You want to make stars that you continue to build off for
Yeah.
years to come. And Stephanie McCare has shown that was my fault. Stephanie McCare has shown that she is money. She's worthy of being at the top of the card. She's worthy of being number one on the call sheet. So yes, her future's bright, but she's coming back for her title. There ain't no doubt about that.
Oh, now hold on. Can I have a little creative liberty here, brother?
Okay, please do.
Because I'm thinking a lot, and
About
Raw is stacked right now. Okay, Raw is
okay.
especially that Raw after Mania. We saw Ethan Page be added. We saw Sol Ruka be added. It like,
We're
well,
way
at
ahead of
least,
ourselves
yeah.
right now, man.
I know. I feel you. I feel you. But like, in order for this to make sense, we got to point that out because it is crazy stacked. And if I saw a faction of Vaquer and Julia with a powerhouse like Kiana James, that is scary. That is scary as hell. And if I can somehow get Rhea Ripley versus Vaquer, that would be so nasty. So, like, I don't know if she don't make the move to SmackDown. I don't know. I'm just saying. Julia needs the help
I
as far as having somebody who knows her, who can at least put some work in with her that like makes her feel comfortable. Because Julia has such potential, and I feel like they threw her on SmackDown without. If she was with NXT a little bit longer, maybe it just hasn't click. And I really feel like her and Stephanie need to be together because I mean it's her best friend. Has no more chemistry with anyone in the wrestling world than her. So I would love to see, I need to see. I know Raw is hogging all the good toys right now. But for Raw to give up Rhea Ripley, I think they know that SmackDown needs some help. And I wouldn't mind seeing Vaquero over there.
Yeah, but
And she looked good in blue.
It's not Stephanie's job to get Julia over. You know, Stephanie's job is to continue to try to get herself over. So going there to help get somebody else build up, I don't know. I don't think that makes sense to me because you're still trying to, like I said earlier, make sure that you are entrenched in that main event scene. So to go to another show and have to build yourself up from there, I don't know. And the more I think about it, I know I said that the two of them put on a great match, but then I just remembered, man, that match was under 7 minutes long, and then it hit me that I did hear someone say that both of them are injured, and I guess maybe that is why the decision was made to keep it a shorter match, which I guess makes sense. But we definitely, I think because the buildup was so dope, right? And we just loved the fact that they were beating the crap out of each other. I think at the time, I was thinking the match was better than it was, but just now, as I'm rewinding in my mind, I'm like, yeah, they did not give them a lot of time. And so we need to see that again, right? We need to
Everything in
see them
night
get a
one was
full,
quick.
yeah. So we need to see, so that's why I can't see her going. Her and Liv got to really get it on and like give them the time necessary to really put on a banger. So I know we're going to get a better match out of those two in the future, or at least I really hope so.
Hey, hope is a dangerous path to walk down. All right,
But in
what's
this case,
next?
I feel it's safe to say. And then we have the undisputed world title match, Cody Rhodes
Mm, right.
against Randy Orton.
Oh,
You know, and
but
this,
wait. What I will say, Stephanie. Well, if that's the case, Stephanie McCare needs some sort of backup. She's always
yeah,
going to run into the numbers game every single time. 3-on-1. The 3-on-1 didn't work for Jade because Rhea had Io. So like the three on
mhm.
one, it just spells the same ending for Vicaire every time. So she
Yeah.
has to
So
figure
you're
figure
right.
that out.
I agree with you on that. She's going to have to get some help to combat the hard R's, but there ain't no combating the hard R's, baby. But yeah, we're
Yeah,
up to the undisputed WWE title, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes. You know, this was the match that sent the entire wrestling world up in flames, right? With the addition of Pat McAfee, with Jelly Roll. People, man, they were really caught in their feelings about this, right?
yeah. God
Um,
damn
because
celebrities.
because it's not McAfee's fault. There was just so much that could have been done with that person on the phone. And I think that is why wrestling fans got a little upset because they're thinking it's going to be a blast from the past, right? It's going to be
Yeah,
a wrestler, it's going to be someone else. And then when it was Pat, I just feel like people got let down. If they wouldn't have made it seem like there was some old school person on the phone, I think it would have been different, probably would have been received a little differently
yeah.
than
Because
it
why the
was.
hell did you say wrestling has more than one royal family? Why did you say that to
Which
Pat?
is true, and which is true, and which is something that you would tell Randy to kind of hype him up. But at the same point, we all were expecting something else, right? And so
Yeah,
that's why I think people had this reaction to it. Now, the match gets started. McAfee starts it off. He kicks Cody, you know, and in the nether regions, and they get going. But it seems like, bro, within like 5 minutes, here comes Jelly Rolls squashing Pat through the announce table. He gets carted off, and that's it. So all
yeah,
that buildup just for less than 5 minutes, like you could have used him more wisely than that, in my
yeah.
opinion. But it is
He
what
was,
it is.
yeah, he was not supposed to be there. I know something. I like you can just smell that something was supposed to be different. You know, like for instance, Undertaker should have never helped Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. We know that's
I
supposed to
agree.
be the glass breaking. We know, but things happen. Who knows what happened? It's something that we might never know until there's some documentary down the road. But like for what they had, they knew that all right, let's get it out the way, and then we got to the wrestling match that we were waiting for.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember what those guys doing each other's moves, right? That was a
Yeah,
nice nod, because when we had
love that.
seen and AJ wrestle, and they were giving nods to everybody by doing a bunch of their, classic matches, some of the guys, their classic opponents doing their finishers and their moves. That was cool, R Cody did a cutter, and I'm yelling, "That's the diamond cutter. That's not the RKO." That was a nose to
Yeah,
DDP. Bang, don't get it twisted. Randy also did a crossroads on
yeah.
Cody, right? So that was pretty dope.
The move sucks. Never works.
But yeah, they got Pat and Jelly Roll out of the equation early, so that way everyone who was complaining, all right, chill,
Yeah,
let these guys get through the thing. It was just a solid match between two guys who know each other, but I think we were expecting something more than just a solid match, right?
yeah,
At some point, the fans are really cheering Randy as the heel and booing Cody as the face. And then Cody kind of, you could see him tap into like maybe taking a step towards that dark side, which
yeah,
I'm telling you,
bro.
all you people who want Cody Rhodes to turn heel, I said this about Roman Reigns. Be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. Because if you're mad that this guy wins all the time and he does it above the books and he doesn't cheat and he's honorable and honest, you want him to go heel. Guess what? Now he's going to use every dirty trick in the book to win.
Every
And just
single
like with
one.
Roman, just like with Roman, you want him to go heel. He went heel and he cheated to win all the time, and that's all people said. We can't win without the Usos. You can't without cheating. Yeah, because you want him to be heel. That's what heel does.
Yeah,
So when Cody does eventually get that heel turn, if you saw some of his independent promos, his New Japan promos when he was a bad guy, yo, Cody will go scorched earth on you. And it's kind of something that I'm looking forward to see just for all these people booing Raheem. I ain't like it.
right,
I stood up and I said it, but he did a great job of kind of flipping the crowd at the end, you know?
right. And now you're in a unique position with your Raw champion being a kind of anti-hero, a kind of a dark face, because they're not going to boo Roman. Like he's gotten to the point where like they're not going to boo Roman, bro. And if he is talking to the Usos ain't about to go heel, So like you're in a unique position where do you got two faces as champion? Is that what we want to do? Will it make SmackDown pop a little bit more if we got to keep an eye on Rhodes because Rhodes is tripping? Like it's some juicy television that you. It's a window. It's a window that's open. Now I know they're always hesitant because at the end of the day, whether whoever is booing, Cody's still selling these toys. Cody's still selling
Hmm.
this merch to these children. All right, and the children are the future. All right, so like it's going to be crazy to see. I know I would test the waters a little bit. I bring this up again. SmackDown needs some help. All right, you got my man Cody looking like a Scarface half version of Cruella Deville with that eye. He needs something. And this is a perfect window to get a little bit more darker with Cody Rhodes, man. Because Randy, it seemed like he was still after that title at the end of the match.
Yeah, at the end of the match, McAfee comes back,
The neck
wearing that
brace.
after being taken out of the arena on a stretcher, he comes back wearing a neck brace and a ref shirt, which
Yeah.
is did he have the ref shirt on the start?
I don't think so. No.
No, I don't think so, right? So yeah, he comes running down, he gets involved. I guess he went for a count that was not to Randy's liking. So I don't know if it was blood in Randy's eye or if he did it intentionally, but he definitely RKO'd Pat and put him out. So he's out of the equation. But then you have Cody, right? A little eye poke, a little low blow,
Yeah.
kind of heelish moves. Ultimately, he gets the three, like you said, and then after Randy picks up the belt, cracks him in the head, then he brings the punt back, gets Cody right in the face, like you said. He looks like man's out there looking like one-eyed Willie right now. It's not, it's me,
Yeah,
one-eyed
bro.
Willie, and so we'll see. I think it's all indications is this rivalry is not over though.
Yeah, dog. And I know Cody. Cody, born of one of the last Mohicans, so like he loved that old school shit, like So I'm sure it was like no, I'm gonna really take this. I'm gonna really take it,
Yeah.
and it was like oh man, maybe I should have dialed it back a little bit. My
Yeah, because
sister said she even saw Randy grimace a little, like,
I
damn,
was
I
literally
got.
about to say, Randy kind of knelt down and like you could see he was like under the guise of trash talking him. It looked like he was checking on like, oh my bad, dog.
Yeah,
Like I
like
got you
dog.
in the face right
Adam Vinatieri over here almost took your head off.
there. But yeah, so that was the end of night one. You know, a lot of people weren't very happy with night one, but you know what? The thing about wrestling is no matter what you do, it's like Pac said, right? Tupac said there's many rules to the game. I'm gonna share with you too. No, people are gonna hate you for whatever you do. No matter what, there's always gonna be that part of the IWC that isn't gonna like the result. So, but I do have to say, as someone who's fairly easy about wrestling, yeah, night one was kind of like, okay, let's see what night two can bring. And
Yeah,
night two brought it.
yeah, because I was
It
like,
brought it.
after night one, I was like, night two, I need to see some blood. I need to see I need to see some fangs. WWE.
Yeah.
All right, I need y'all to establish that this is WrestleMania a little bit, because it felt like a CC minus. It's just like
And I
it
think that's
wasn't.
accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it felt like a fast lane. It felt like a Night of Champions. It didn't feel like WrestleMania. And yeah, they got it done. But we skipped something. We
Oh yeah.
here,
Yeah.
we here at the No Contest Wrestling Podcast would like to send a congratulations to future mommy to be, our dog, our girl, Bianca Belair. And congratulations to Montez Ford as well. She came out with the big news that we are expecting the most athletic child the world has ever seen.
Yeah, that was good. It was hard to tell, with I guess the way the stadium set up. I just thought there should have been a bigger pop for Bianca. And maybe it was, and it came through on TV. In the arena, it was cheers, but I was like, I was expecting thunderous cheers. So maybe that was just me. Like I said, the sound's a little different there when you're live. But yeah,
Yeah,
man, just that's really cool. It's sad that, because of her hand injury, we didn't get to see her for a whole year. And now it looks like it's going to be at least another, 16, 17 months probably before we're going to get to see
sorry.
her wrestle again. So,
Yeah,
but
thanks,
yeah, all the
Tez.
best, man. All the best. And I told you during the show, they got to put Tez and Jimmy in a tag team just for like 2 weeks, just so everybody can boo them and get all their anger out.
Boo the hell out of them. Right. And we need,
and then, let them go back to what we're cheering, you know.
yeah, no, we can't say that. But it's a funny name for them going out on the internet right now.
Yeah, you can look it up and find it.
Yeah,
One thing
yeah,
we did
yeah.
forget, new women's intercontinental champion, the
Right,
man.
right. Yeah,
Becky
Becky.
Becky defeated AJ. Like I said, that was another sub 10-minute match. But the thing that stood out most to me, well, first of all, AJ coming down with all the little AJ Lees, that was really cool to see all the
Right.
little girls dressed up like her skipping. That was a nice touch. And I think overall, that's what I might remember most about WrestleMania total. Some great entrances, that
Yeah,
some of these were almost as long as the match. But the thing that we've been talking about for months is Lady Ref Jessica
yeah,
Carr, and her beef with Becky, which continued, got a little physical, and so Cara is a wrestler, she did wrestle independently, so she at least, can go in there and at least handle herself probably
handle herself
and
for
have
sure.
have a competitive match. But like, yeah, her and Becky are getting in. We had a little tomfoolery with the turnbuckle cover, which ultimately
Tomfoolery.
led to which ultimately led to AJ's demise as she ran into it and then got hit with the manhandle. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I,
man.
I
So
just knew going into Mania, like, there's no way Becky never beat AJ. Like,
mhm.
never beat AJ. This is her first win she got with Jessica Carr being the ref. Like, it's just one of those things that if you're watching the stats, you get a feeling. And just as soon as it left my mouth, TJ, of how
Mhm.
excited I was that we might get Paige versus AJ Lee again. AJ Lee says, "All right, I don't know when I'll see you guys again, but and I'm
Right.
like,
I
damn,
I hope they can convince her to come back because, obviously her and AJ, or I'm sorry, her and Paige, they have a history together, and you want to see, man. I still want to see, like, yeah, Roxanne and AJ get to go at it.
yeah,
I want to see Paige has been such a big influence on a lot of these women. So hopefully they get to do it again. But if not, look, AJ, you came back and you got to leave the way you wanted to leave. If you are leaving,
yeah,
I don't think you are, but at least you got to do this and kind of make up for the last time she was
yeah,
there. So props for her. Becky, of course, she's just she's on another level.
yeah,
And I don't know who's up next for her, but it's going to be entertaining because lately with Becky, it always is, right?
yeah.
Another thing we forgot, the unsanctioned match, Jacob Fatu
Oh
against Drew
man, that's what I gotta
McIntyre.
rewatch on
Uh,
TV.
yeah, for sure. No titles at stake,
Yeah,
nothing like that. Just two big, strong men who don't like each other and wanted to beat the crap out of each other, and they did a fairly good job of doing that. Yeah.
Drew always gonna deliver. Drew's always gonna
Yeah.
deliver. Jacob, this meant something to him on a different level. I don't know if you saw the video of him getting emotional after his
Hmm.
WrestleMania match, but like both both friends of the show, and you knew they was that was the one that was circled of just like, all right, that's one you can rely on. And if you look online, it's the highest rated match of the night.
Yeah, so it's funny that it escaped my mind until just now. But yeah, man, just you got two big athletic dudes out there doing things that men that big shouldn't be able to do. And I think when they next have a WWE rivalries, it's going to
Yeah,
have to be Drew McIntyre against the Red Toolbox
I
because
was about to
that Red
say,
Toolbox
who
has
is
done
this
more damage.
employee leaving the tools under the ring?
You
Come
know,
on,
the
bro.
I one of my favorite understated rivalries was always Kurt Angle against the moonsault because I
Yeah,
swear it took him 10 years to finally actually hit a moonsault, and now we got Drew McIntyre against this red toolbox, which has been effing him up twice at two
yeah.
different times. But we saw the kendo sticks, we saw just just pounding out each pause, pounding each
Ooh.
other, and yeah, just great match. I still like my idea that they should have had a cinematic fight all
That would have
through
been
Vegas down the
hilarious,
strip.
TJ.
Somebody getting choke slammed through a roulette table or something, interrupting blackjack, just somebody getting body slammed, but they didn't
Yeah,
do
we
that.
want to
But
see some
that's
chips fly.
someone's got to do that at some point. So, and when you do it, just credit NCW, all right? All caps
Bro,
when you spell our
don't
name.
listen, be careful reminding them because we right after Saudi, they might be like, Vegas again.
But yeah, and apparently I think the reports have been Drew's got a part in Highlander coming up,
Yeah,
so
there can
this
only
might
be
be the
one.
time for him to go up and do that. Yeah, there can only be one. But I will say this is a slight flex, and I told you this during the match. Drew McIntyre became the first wrestler ever in my lifetime of WrestleMania who was texting me the morning before his match, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of dope. Like Drew McIntyre and me are texting each other right now, and he's got a match tonight. I mean, look, Ultimate Warrior never texted me before WrestleMania.
Right.
Randy Savage never texted me for WrestleMania. The Rock, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, John Cena, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Kane, Batista, Booker T. None of them ever texted me. Snitsky, the Road Warriors,
Why? Hold
Demolition,
on.
nobody.
All those people you named, and then you randomly threw Snitsky in there is insane. I want you to know. I want you locked up. You went on this list of like the greatest of all time and threw Snitsky.
I don't know why.
Do you know him? Like what was
I, I was just trying to go through my mind.
It's past midnight, y'all. Okay, it's past midnight.
So yeah, so never got text messages from not there one of them before, not there one for Drew
Right.
McIntyre. Yeah, but so shout out to Jacob, shout out to Drew. Did the thing. I think we finally fully covered night one. Now let's quickly move
Yeah.
on to night two because I want to keep the people too long because a lot of people have already given their takes, but we haven't given ours, and that's why you're
Yeah.
here with us at No Contest. So you know what I'm saying. Thank you. Boop. Night
Yeah.
two, we kicked off with on ESPN, right?
Yeah.
We said this, a guy that we've been on board with from, if not day one, then day three, Oba Femi. Like I
Yeah.
was on board
Ooh.
almost a year ago saying that Oba should be the one to beat and retire a heel John Cena because that way you make a new main eventer for the next decade or so. And, you know, that was received half the
Yeah.
people with it. A little bit over half told me I was crazy.
Yeah.
But now look at it. Now you have
Black Heat.
Obafemi. Obafemi going up against the true final boss, Brock Lesnar. And just from Oba's entry, just from that introduction, that ring walk, man,
Yeah.
where the crowd's going nuts. And I pointed this out to him the third time we interviewed him because you know it's been so many, it's hard to keep track. But I
Yeah.
pointed out to him a sluddle. I said sluddle, a slight yet subtle. I can speak.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
try this
Okay.
one more time. A slight yet subtle thing that he did with his entry was he started to talk, and he would
Yeah.
start talking to people. And I was like, that was interesting. That took that up a notch. And now he's coming up and he's talking to Brock Lesnar. And bro, I got to be honest because yeah, we don't hide the fact, you know, as much as you can love another man you don't know, we love Obafemi. We're behind Obafemi. Dude's been mad cool with us, so I'm very, and you are as well, very invested. So there was a point of pride that I know you were feeling too when you're looking around and you're
Yeah.
seeing people. And I'm not talking people that look like him. I'm talking people that didn't like him,
Yeah.
look like him, chant his name, do the walk. Some trying to do the walk. A lot of people can't do it. I tried to give
Damn.
you a tutorial. You know, some of you didn't watch that video. You should go back and peep it.
Bro,
But regardless,
that's 75 yards. It looked like he got tired of doing the walk.
75 yards, but it was just it. There was a feeling that I had right looking around and hearing. His name's not Mike. His name's not Tim. His name's not Joe. That
Yeah.
man's name is Oba. And so you
Yeah.
hear Oba getting chanted, and it was just, I don't know, man. It did something to me, bro. It just made me feel like because we know how it is sometimes with brothers in wrestling. Don't always get the fair shake. Don't always get a fair
Yeah.
hand dealt to it. So when you look at someone, and there's been other men throughout wrestling times too, you look at them and go, how could you deny this person? They're
Yeah.
undeniable. Here's another man, but I think collectively we all went, you will not deny this dude. You will not mess this
Yeah.
dude up. So this him walking that walk and he's talking. And at one point he cups his ear, which I thought was a great, just a great move. And then boom, boom. And
Yeah.
it's like warriors getting ready for war, bro. And it was just like it's getting you in because you know what's about to come out the other side. You know what this
Yeah.
Viking has already done. So you're already prepared. But like we said on ESPN, it's going to be a lot of people's first time to see WrestleMania. It's going to be their introduction to not our, to their Super Bowl. It's going to be their introduction to Obafemi. And I thought they handled that perfectly, just getting him to the ring.
Yeah, dude. And we had that. This was the one. This and Punk versus Roman were the one was the
Mhm.
one I was like, listen, I don't know how this finish is going to go, but boy, if they get it wrong, they gonna hear it for the rest of the night because they put them
Yeah,
first. It
yeah.
is the tone setter for night two, and it delivered. It delivered in a way that kept Brock the veteran. Brock
Mhm.
got an F5 off. And a lot of people on the line like, oh, he knows so that he didn't know Seb. He got to one knee. That hurt.
Yeah.
That buckled him a little bit.
That is
And
not a
then
no sell. That is, oh, you got me, but
yeah, but I'm gonna need another one. and I don't think you can get another one off before I hit you with this fall from grace. So like it it set a new hierarchy in WWE. That alone. And Oba getting the victory, Oba looking like the force that we know that he is, because let me tell you, y'all better start paying attention to NXT when we tell you. When we tell you to turn that CW on, trying to let y'all know. Also, shout out to John Cena, because that Saturday night main event being a showcase was putting our dog on prime time against Cody Rhodes, and that helps as well. But it felt so good to see him get the dub, and then the shock that I felt through my body. I didn't think it could go any higher, and then we all saw, wait, Brock is laying there for a long time, and then Brock sits up a little bit, and it's just like, man, we being live there, we don't know what Michael Cole is saying, we don't know like what's being said on the broadcast, so we don't know if they're setting up something, or like, what's happening, because you also got to wait for camera cues and things like that.
Yeah.
But then he took the Velcro off his gloves, and then he took the other glove, and it was like, there's no way. And then he reached for the boots, and it was like oh wow. My first initial thought was, there's no way I'm here for this, which is what you want in a great event. Like, there's no way I'm watching this right now. And you can see us in the back. We damn near are watching a car wreck the whole time. And the match is over. And seeing, looking up on the screen and seeing, is he crying? Like, I've never had a wholesome Brock Lesnar moment. That was, like, bro, I'm getting goosebumps right now. Like, people have so much to say about Brock, but what is undeniable is what he did in that ring. What type of beast, just animal that he was, and how he, at least for me, changed my mindset on what a big man is in wrestling. We hear stories about when Taker or Kane, when they first started, and they can jump over, or Big Show as well. They can do the flips and do all that stuff. And like, people told them, like, no, just be big. Brock did everything. Brock could do everything and did it fast as hell, and made you really believe, because he really could throw you through the ground. Brock Lesnar is the guy that was dominating WWE, and then some people made fun of him and told him that he couldn't really fight. So he went to UFC and took their title too, and then went back to WWE. Like, this dude is one of the baddest on the planet, and that was the first time I saw him as a human, a guy saying goodbye.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, from day one, you always hear like the one thing that people always say, well, Brock doesn't like people, he doesn't like crowds. You kind of wonder if he likes wrestling. That was just like the storyline, the things you'd always hear. Like, well, Brock doesn't like people, which is a really odd thing, but I get it, because people.
Yeah, because people.
But that moment was, like I said, I remember when he first did the strap, I was like, dude. And a friend of ours, Stephen Amell, the Green Arrow, coming out in Baywatch soon. By the way, we're going to have him on the pod shortly when Baywatch comes back. He wants to come on and talk some wrestling, because he's been in the ring. He turned to me and he's like, there's no way. There's like no way he's retiring. And because he had both gloves on, and Steve was like, there's no way. And you were still, at that point, I think you were a little shocked. I remember looking at you like, is this happening?
I couldn't get over the match yet. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't get over the match. And it was just too much. Sensory overload.
And as Steven's saying that, all of a sudden he reaches down and starts untying the boots. And it was like, oh, wow. And then the emotion on his face for a guy who it didn't seem like for years he didn't love or like, just, he always said he was fine in the ring, but outside of the ring, he never loved it. And that's understandable, right? Small town boy. You as an actor, we see how people kind of rush to like want to get a picture, say hi to you, and it can kind of be like overwhelming. So
for
imagine this is
sure.
Brock Lesnar, right? And it's just
Yeah,
like, so to see him have that emotion, the tears, the hugging with Heyman, the thanking of the fans, like
that's what
that was
almost got
so
me.
dope.
There were
Yeah,
two
man, because here
moments:
you,
the X, him hugging Paul, because like
mm,
it's something. It's something when a grown man need a hug, and
mm,
he needed that hug, and it was just like, there's no way I'm sad or like getting choked up for the beast, you know.
mm,
And then him putting his forehead on the mat, bro. I almost broke. I was like, oh
yeah.
shit. Oh my god, dude, what a moment, man.
And and I've said this before, people love giving up top 10 lists, and it's something we all do as fans. But I mean, if a lot of people already have him in the top 10, but I think you're really going to have to look back at this dude's body work. And if you don't agree, he's one of the greatest of all time. And it might not always be match quality. I know some of the matches were nothing more than, 10 German suplexes. But from the beginning to the end, from the aura to what it meant to be in the ring with him, to getting a win over him, this is Brock Lesnar, man. And his name rings bells like, Sunday at 12 o'clock. This is
Yeah,
Brock Lesnar. And by the way, if your name's Brock Lesnar as a child, you have no choice but to be a bad MF.
yeah,
Like if you're Brock Lesnar, you're not becoming a molecular scientist. Okay. If you're
yeah,
Brock Lesnar, you're not working at, your local, Nissan or Hyundai dealer.
yeah.
Your name is Brock Lesnar.
Lesnar.
You have to be involved in some type of physical job, whether it be sports or maybe you like, you are collecting money for some people who loan out
Yeah,
money on the
power
street.
lifter. Yeah, loan
But you got to
shark.
do something. You got to do something physical, and you got to do something violent, and that's what that man did. So, props to
Yeah,
you, my man. If this is
yeah.
really it, and it does appear to be so, you did your thing, you left your mark. And what I love even more is, despite what people have said about Brock Lesnar all the time, he I don't know this for a fact. You don't know this for a fact. But based upon everything we do know about wrestling, that man picked Oba Femi. He goes, that's the guy. That's
Yeah,
the one. Because he could have lost to Gunther, right?
yeah.
Gunther was already
You,
kind of made. He beat
yeah,
Cena. He beat AJ. He looked at Oba and said, this is the dude.
yeah.
And he made Oba Femi that night. So
I've been
because of
waiting
that
for
too,
you. Yeah,
props to you, man. And now,
yeah.
like I said, Oba's the man. We're going to see where this goes. But you're going to have to get gold on him quick. And I
Ooh,
know I said initially that maybe Brock wins the first because the reason I'm saying that is, fans are. You don't want him turning on Oba. Don't matter at this point, man. Light up the rocket, and let this dude go. And if he's got to go against Roman, so be it. If you got to go against Cody again, so be it. But somebody is getting their belt taken
somebody going to
before
get the ass kicked.
December. Yeah, before December, and that I think that's just almost a guaranteed fact. Before 2026, this brother Oba Femi is probably gonna have gold, heavyweight gold, like top
The big
top gold.
boy. Ooh-wee. All right. Well, now,
Yeah.
after that, what do we have? We
We
had the six man,
we had the
right?
ladder match, man, and that was
Yeah.
great. Penta, he
Show
retained
stealer.
in in a six-man match against Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, Rusev, and JD McDonough.
JD McDonough. Yeah.
And
Funko Pop.
yeah, ladder matches are always, especially when you have this amount of athleticism and ladders, brothers just fly. And this was another match we say it was hard to, from your seat, keep track of everything. You had stuff on the other side of the ring that you couldn't see, ladders, people, bodies flying. It was a tough match in person to follow. But the big moments you saw, and one of the big moments was Javon Evans doing the cutter as he set. And I was recording
Ugh.
this. I was recording this when it happened. I was watching him set the ladder up. It's like, what's he going to do? Oh no. Runs up the ladder, stands on the pole. Him and Rusev, perfect timing as he hits him with a cutter off the ladder. It
Bro,
was just like,
that reminded
wow.
me of back when I was a kid, and me and the homies knowing we shouldn't be doing wrestling moves, diving into the pool. That's exactly what that looked like, dude. And it's just, he's having so much fun out there. Another spot I want to give credit to, because me and you both like had the same thought without speaking to each other. But that spot where Ray jumped out the ring onto, I forget who, onto the ladder, and the ladder snapped. I looked at you and said,
Oh,
that looked like he was in slow motion, didn't it? And you were like,
it
right,
did, man. It was
bro.
like time literally slowed up so you could watch the
Yeah, it was
rotation.
like,
And
oh,
I would
man.
never have said anything. I wasn't going to say anything, but when you said it, I was like, hell, that did. It seemed
Yeah,
like time slowed down, man.
bro, I don't know what that was, but I was like, I just saw that in slow motion. And you agreed, and I was like, all right, I'm not tripping. Cool, I can keep drinking.
Yeah, man. So you gotta love I didn't know if Ray at first I thought he was Daredevil when he came out, but I think it might have been more Deadpool. I'm not
Yeah,
sure, but
listen,
it
all
is
I know is
whatever it was.
the brown homies was all in red. I don't know what they was trying to get off,
Right? Yeah.
but Penta,
Yeah.
Ray, and Dragon Lee all came decked out. And yeah, bro, they put on a banger, and I feel like they knew. And Javon doing this thing this close. This, and it's something to be said when you're the superstar that's this close.
Close. Yeah.
But Penta is it's Penta's world right now, that Intercontinental title, and that's our dog as well. So I couldn't. We both said going into that match, there really wasn't anybody that wouldn't be interesting winning the title. Like it was like a situation. Oh, whoa, who's that ad for? Because I know I told you the Clipper fan wasn't gonna win, right? I told you I don't
What?
see a champion. I don't see a championship in a Clipper fan's future. But other than that,
See, he's talking about Rusev, folks, because
oh,
he's a
oh,
Laker
oh, oh,
fan and he's ignorant.
names.
Jeez. But yeah, I thought that it was either Penta's to retain or Javon's to take. I didn't really see any other outcome for it. But Penta, yeah, man, Penta's the man right now, and he proved it in this match. Really solid match. I can't front. It was,
Yeah,
I don't
and
know if it
it
was
was the
five
spot.
stars or whatever, but
It was the spot filled match that you expect from WrestleMania. You,
yep.
you need you need one
So
of them, bro. It's just one of those. If it's your first time seeing wrestling, you're like, oh, okay, this is the potential match that this is why people get locked in for something
yeah,
like this.
yeah,
Let's just put all the bells and whistles, set off all the pyro. We got to give them one that can get the crowd rowdy. And when you start off with what we just saw with Oba and Brock, and then that's the next one, night two
yeah.
is on fire to start.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. We talk about. I know people get mad when they say WWE caters to kids, but like we all started watching as kids, so
Yeah,
why wouldn't we
dog.
keep going? Why would I not want a kid to have that feeling that I had? Because even though I was a little older, I wasn't a kid necessarily. I was still young enough
Yeah,
when Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant. Even though getting older and looking back, and you realize many men had slammed Andre, even including Hogan years
yeah,
earlier. That was the biggest thing that I'd ever seen. Like WrestleMania 3 to me was the one that was just like the most mind blowing. So when Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant, I felt like
yeah,
that was the most amazing thing that ever happened. And now there's going to be a generation of young kids, especially with it being free on ESPN, that
yeah,
probably their biggest wrestling memory or moment is going to be Oba Femi power slamming, or I'm not, I mean, power bombing
yeah.
Brock Lesnar,
Mhm.
or something that they saw from one of the masked wrestlers, or this kid with dreadlocks that looks like some of my buddies pulled
Yeah,
off off a ladder. So that's what I kind of find cool, especially because it was on for free. That like this new generation of wrestling fans, especially younger kids, can look at those two moments, and I think 10 years from now they're going to be talking about, man, when Oba Femi beat Brock Lesnar, and
yeah,
to me that's really cool.
yeah,
You
man.
know,
And stop. This is. I used to watch a cartoon by the name of Codename Kids Next Door. For those who know, you know. And it was
Never heard
always
of
a
that.
thing that, like, when you become an adult, you forget everything that you did as a kid. And like, stop trying to take the magic away from people who are still believers, man.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
the world is already so damn serious. Let the people who still believe, man. And don't forget what it was like when you first found wrestling. Let them have that.
Yeah, man.
And that's one of those times. Jurassic Park is super enjoyable when I don't have a jerk being like, these dinosaurs are not real, right?
Right.
That you're like, this is just computers. Like, bro, can you just let me enjoy it? So yeah,
Can I
if
live?
you're if you're an adult out there still complaining that like they're marketing to kids, remember you used to be a kid. Maybe
Yep.
maybe they don't have sable with handprints bikinis, but
Which
like
was
dog,
nice. Which was nice.
but like dog, they got what they got and let them have it. And that was
Yeah.
one of those moments, brother. That was beautiful.
I mean, look, they might not have Sable, but they got Jade, they got Rhea, they got Roxanne, and they got Stephanie and Liv.
They're
So,
they're just fine.
you guys are fine. You guys are going to be all right.
They're just
All
fine.
right,
Yeah,
next, we got the United States Championship match. Where a
yeah,
friend of ours, Trick
yeah,
Williams, goes up against a man who is unfairly booed by the crowd. I still can't figure it out. The
yeah.
Underrated Sami Zayn. And we pretty much knew how this was going to go. This was set up to have Trick Willie have his time in the sun, and he did just that. My man had the CVS receipt fur coat come out. I think
Yeah,
there's never been a longer piece of fur
yeah,
in history come dragging out.
yeah. Rest in peace,
It's like,
Falcor, the wishing dragon. Never ending story reference right there.
but yeah, Trick, with the crowd whooped that Trick. It was they were feeling it with little Yachty coming and walking him to the ring. It's just another instance where I feel like WWE dropped the ball here. There's no reason, unless he said no, that Booker T couldn't have been there just giving the ad libs, because those ad libs really help get Trick over. I know Trick has done the work. I know Stephanie Vaquera has done the work. They're both uberly talented. But the two things that Booker T did in particular for those two, the
Yeah,
for Stephanie, and then the whoop that Trick, the ad lib, that helped get him over. That helped Stephanie get over. So it would have been cool if maybe Booker could have been there.
yeah,
No offense to Lil Yachty, whatever, but like, yeah, man, imagine the Booker T's walking. Oh yeah, man.
yeah. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I
it
like
also
it. That would have been so dope.
it also would have been an insane fatal four way if they let the two dudes who were bumping up the U.S. title, Ilya and Carmelo, get some
Mellow,
love
yeah.
in there. That would have been a nice fatal four way, bro. And that way, I mean, when
Yeah.
it's a fatal four way, there's nobody looks weak because anybody can get pinned at any time. But
Yeah.
they wanted a dominant win for Trick, so here we are. But I don't think Melo gonna take his old Padawan rocking his
Mhm.
gold too lightly around there on SmackDown. So I'm very interested to give my man Melo some shine, and I just want Ilya and Melo to receive their flowers because they put in work week after week to make
They
that
did.
U.S. title pop.
As did Sammy. But here's the deal. I think what we're looking at now is Trick's got three really good opponents lined up, which have
Really
some
good.
organic chemistry. You got Sammy, who you
Yeah.
beat, so there's a storyline there. You got Mello, who Trick was his heavy. He was his Diesel to
Yep.
Mello's Shawn Michaels. He was the bodyguard essentially until he came out on into his own. And then you got Ilya, who outside of Mello, that was Trick's, like, I think his signature win over someone like Ilya down in
Yeah.
NXT
Some
when he
say it's his
won
best match.
the title. So yeah, man. So the next few months for Trick defending that title is going to be dope. He's going to have some great competition, and
Yeah.
no telling who else steps up. But shout out to Trick Willie, another guy who we are unapologetically ride for and love. And you know what? It is what it is. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. That's a YP. That's that's a you problem. Ain't a me problem. That's Trick Willie. Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
Trick. Then we had the street fight. Dom Mysterio. I don't know if this is in order. This is the order I wrote him down.
Yeah,
Dom
right. Who
against
cares?
the Demon. Dom's entrance. Dom is getting some dope entrances, right? And
Easter egg
his
king.
entrance, yeah, his entrance being come carried out on, I'm not even sure what you call the thing. Masked
Yeah,
wrestlers just walking to the ring with him. Um, Aguayo, I think, is the wrestler whose mask he had and who he was kind of emulating. At one point, they're carrying him up on. I don't even know what you have to see it. I don't know
Yeah,
what
it's
the thing is
throne,
called.
whatever it's called, dog.
The throne, and then Dom stood there. All of a sudden, just kind of took a step and fell, and all these guys caught him. Did you pick up on that?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you said
You was
you didn't
telling me
notice
the
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You told me
yeah. So I
live.
rewatched it. That was dope, right? So Dom, dope interview, and then here comes the demon, and
Yeah,
you know what
come on
time
now.
it. You know what when demon time comes, you know what time it is.
Yeah, no man. Demon only has two losses, and they didn't come back to back. So
Mm.
you know that what time it was. On his
Oh, by the
back.
way, and also Shay, also the demon ain't losing to no jabronis either. If the people beating
Yeah,
demon are top of the
Roman
food chain,
Reigns
so
and Edge. Like that's where it stopped. And on his back, he had they painted Dom Mysterio being eaten by the demon on his back.
is that what that was? Okay.
Yeah, bro. The details in that match. Once again, we got to watch that live. But just a little side note: Allegiant, put some TVs around that MF, dog. All right.
Yeah, like let's talk about that. When you're sitting there, at least where we were sitting, we're facing the ramp, right?
Yeah.
So they have these big monitors with the WrestleMania, but there's nothing there that is showing the action to the
Yeah.
people facing this way. For us to see the monitors, to see screens are actually showing action, we would have to turn around in our chairs
Yeah.
and
Like
look
we was
back. There was
backing
no
out the driveway.
Yeah, like literally. So like be back, put monitors up so at least if you're facing the ring and the ramp,
Yeah.
you can see what's going on. Because half the time, if they're on the outside of the ring, we have to turn around and try to watch.
Yeah.
And that's just a
And
little nitpicky thing.
it might not even be Allegiant because WWE has that big WrestleMania stage. There might be another TV right there. But WWE, somebody on production, think about the people in the
Yeah.
VIP section.
So just a little nitpick right there,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
pick of
yeah.
nit. But yeah, back to the demon, man. The demon, and they do a good job of using it. He should only come out in big matches with big stakes. It's not something you use every week. And
Yeah.
but we thought to put an end to the Dom Mysterio feud, but we found out on Raw that nah, this thing ain't over
Can't stop, won't
with him
stop.
in the Judgment Day. So we'll see. Does Finn get himself a new crew? Does maybe he call Priest and go, hey, listen, man, I know I
Hey,
kind
big
of put,
head.
but he screwed Priest over. So
Right.
Priest might be like, "No, G," and hang up the phone. No, you say I
Yeah,
got deeper
man.
when I talk like Priest.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So,
No, man.
but we'll see. But Balor, he beats Dom, and yeah, just the demon's
I
great.
love
Dom's entrance was
Dom's
great.
tidbit, Dom, where he was like, I wasn't supposed to be facing him. I signed up to face
Mhm.
Finn Balor.
That's it. Also,
Hilarious.
Dominic Mysterio, he might need to talk to Becky Lynch's lawyer because he does have a valid point. He was supposed to wrestle Finn Balor, and it was the demon.
Yeah.
So, Dom, I would seek legal counsel if I were you.
I love
Then we
your
got
work.
right, so amazing. Then we got the WWE Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley wins that title, defeats Jade Cargill. And I got to
I
be
thought
honest,
Jay did
this
great, by the way.
you just took what I was about to say.
Oh,
Yes.
everybody got some shit to say about Jade. I felt like that
Mhm.
was one of Jade's best matches.
Yeah.
And like
I
she seemed strong. She seemed obviously we know how it went, but it wasn't one of those like oh such and such is carrying her again. Like that lady went out there and she handled her business, you know.
yeah.
And then
I thought
now,
it was
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna
Just
say
writing down
now
my
look,
notes.
now knowing that she was gonna lose, I look at little things like when she was staring at the title and the ref kept trying to get the title and she said, "Hold on." Like now that like now
Right. Okay.
it's a layer to that now of just like she knew it was goodbye and she wanted to have her moment, with the title at Mania.
Yeah.
And it's just those little things now where I know she's gonna want to come back harder. She's gonna want to come back and like show them that like, nah, I'm championship material. This ain't no fluke. So like I'm excited about the future of Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I thought it was strange the champ came out first. That was a choice.
Hell yeah.
That was interesting. But like yeah, a lot of people I don't think were very excited about this match, but I think they did. And again, using the word solid, I think it was, it was like a B match.
Yeah.
I don't think it was one of Rhea's best. I think for Jade, it was one of her better matches, maybe because she had a better opponent
So that,
to deal with than
to
she
get some
usually
moves
did.
off, somebody that can lift her, somebody that can
Yeah,
tumble with her.
yeah.
That goes
Um,
into it as well.
and then of course you had the near fall pinfall that Jade did to Rhea, which was so seductive,
Come
so
on now.
provocative.
Where the gyps at? Sorry.
I know. I mean, look, if
Uh,
to quote Key and Peele, if Hingle McCringleberry was there, he would have got flagged for too many pumps. Okay, we'll leave it at that. It was too many pumps.
to quote my Uncle Star.
But yeah, you had Me Chin and B-Fab. They came in and got involved. So of course that brought EO down to kind of like, even odds a bit, and that kind of helped distract Jade enough that Rhea and their ending sequence where went for the pump handle, didn't get it. Jade tried to get Rhea in her move, then Rhea. I mean, it was just an excellent last few sequences to get her back to the pump handle, and then boom, you know, folded
Right.
her up, and the match was over. And crowd went nuts. The crowd loves Rhea Ripley, and now
Yeah.
she is the champion, and we'll see where it goes from there for her. And most importantly, though, we'll see what's up next for Jade. Where she go after this? How she rebound and recover? Because I think she honestly will. She'll get back, and this might not be. Rhea obviously she's moving to SmackDown, so I don't think it's gonna be the
Yep.
last time we're gonna see those two women. And then we had a little comedic relief there. Cena comes out to announce the crowd numbers at 55,000 plus. And then Miz comes out with Kit Wilson. Miz wants his moment. He's a vet. He's a two-time Grand Slam champion. Cena gives
Mhm.
him the floor. And then out comes Danhausen and little Danhausens. And he put on a
Yeah.
funny little skit there and left Cena just kind of dying with laughter.
Yeah, man. Because
Uh,
Dan Housen. We're watching WrestleMania on ESPN Housen. It's like he is gold. I I still get a kick on how they debuted him, but this dude has been nothing but box office, and we're talking
yeah.
about Cody and Roman and Oba. This dude Dan Housen might be the most powerful person in WWE, bro. Okay, this
Well,
dude can stop referees' hands from counting three. Okay, he's not to be messed with. You keep him on your side.
but it seemed like the crowd seemed to be 50-50 into him. But I know this. He's over with kids. He's over. He sells merch, sells like crazy. And he has a little bit of breath of fresh air.
The palate cleanser.
I, I,
Remember, I was telling
I
our
don't.
truth.
I, I don't expect to see him obviously become world champion or even
No.
secondary champion. Of course not.
Uh,
But at night one, I did say something. I was like, they should put Speed and Danhausen together, and you were like, call him Speedhausen. Maybe even, I
Speedhausen,
mean, if you want a little comedy there, maybe put those two together as a tag team and just
bro.
have some
I
fun with it because there's room for fun here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There is.
it has to be. We're still World Wrestling Entertainment, and I would
Yeah.
love to see Speedhausen. I don't think there is a piece of merch that would sell out faster globally than Speedhausen right now. And
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
just like you like making money. We know that. Maybe Speedhausen with the success you could get from that, you might lower these ticket prices. We don't know,
right,
but it's
right.
yeah. So hashtag Speedhausen, we need it.
Speedhausen, let's see it. Why not, man? The guy is entertaining. Like I said, I don't necessarily ever consider him to be world championship material, but you don't have to be world champion to be entertaining and make money. And the
Oh,
crowd, at
you can
least
still.
most of them, seem to be behind him.
I can see Dan Housen coming to an arena with his own title. Just like it can. It's money to be made there, and the
Yeah.
curse is real. Remember, he cursed Stephen A. Smith. How the Knicks do game one? I'm
I mean,
just
Stephen A.
saying,
Smith don't play for the Knicks, man. If he curses Jalen Brunson, then yeah, that's a different story. You
dog.
know, if he
Stephen A.
curses
Smith
Mikal Bridges,
is the Knicks. The Cowboys might win a Super Bowl now that Stephen A. Smith is cursed.
Let me say to you, Stephen A is not the Knicks. The Knicks players clearly don't feel that he's the Knicks. If you've been paying attention, I
I'm just
don't believe
saying,
that they
man.
feel that way. So
I'm just saying.
yeah,
What's he gonna do?
I
Lose his voice? All he got is the
oh, we can only hope. Uh, and then we
Knicks.
got the main event, World Heavyweight Championship. Acknowledge your tribal chief Roman Reigns has regained, well, not he's regained a world title, but
Yeah,
it's its first run with this World Heavyweight Championship, which last February, 2025. We asked him if he'd ever go for that belt, and he says whenever they feel like making it more relevant. I guess they felt like making it more relevant, and your tribal chief defeats CM Punk after a couple week build up, and he's the new champ, man.
yeah, and they put on a great match. No gimmicks, no interference.
Yeah,
A real old school WWE wrestling match.
yeah,
Both
over
look
30
great.
minutes.
Yeah, like CM Punk's will outlasting his body. Also, a nice touch. CM Punk defeated Moxley with the bounce off the rope double GPS. He defeated Seth with the same thing. And then when
Yeah,
he went up against Roman, his body gave out. His body gave out. But all three members of the Shield could have lost the exact same way. I thought it was just a nice little Easter egg right there.
that's wild. That's wild.
Yeah,
Okay.
bro, that's
And
beauty.
we talk about, the entrances, Roman got like a choral chorus. It wasn't even a
Yeah,
chorus, it was like a rendition
and it was
of
his old school
his song.
song too. The
Yeah.
old school tribal chief music.
And then Punk, he had a great video package to start with his old theme song from AFI. I think you pronounce it Miseria Cantera, I think is how it's pronounced. Don't
Bless you.
yell at me if it's so. But that's his old Ring of Honor theme. Thank you. And then you like his jacket, man. It was names of some, you had his friend Bo, a few WWE employees that were on the jacket. Larry, he had the Puerto Rican flag for his wife, and then he had in the back, he had a crown. You were saying it was for the Lakers, but no, that was for Harley Race. That was Harley Race's crown. So it was a great tribute. And the way he came walking out after his old thing was playing to nothing, that was kind of dope.
Woo!
You
Feel the
know,
moment.
beats down, you let it build. It's clobbered. And then the
Glory
mute,
to
and then the arena
yeah.
went, so yeah, that was great entrance. But yeah, man, they gave these guys over a half an hour to do their thing. Like you said, Shay, there was no tomfoolery for the second time today. There was no
Yeah.
outside interference. Think about it. Punk said that Roman could only win with help from his cousins. They didn't get involved. There was no interference. He did it on his own. And so, yeah, can't say enough good things. We don't give out grades, we don't give out rankings, but this was a 5-star A+ match. If you
Yeah.
ask me, two of the very best wrestlers in the world. Punk being like the old vet who's just like not hanging on, but like got to the point in the match where just like he didn't have
Yeah.
it at that moment, and Roman was able to when he hit him with the spear and got to 1, 2, 3. I think you and I were both surprised, like, oh, it's over. Like I thought
Yeah.
it might take more. We were still waiting for the outside interference. We're waiting for some type of schmoz, as Bret Hart likes to say. Punk, did kind of go with the low blow, didn't he? Like kind of like Cody did.
Yeah,
Wasn't there a
yeah,
low?
yeah. But it was,
Um,
and I looked over to you and I was like, Punk, it really is a genius, bro. Like such a smart spot, and I loved it. I loved everything about this match, and it was a weird position of, an actual friend versus your favorite wrestler. It was reason why uh, I wanted the chair because like I don't know if I'm gonna get that again, you know
yeah,
and kept my ticket. So I'm gonna need a signature from both of them on that ticket. And yeah, Punk got, for all the naysayers, he got his other main event too, and it was a
yeah.
classic. So that was the biggest fu as a CM Punk fan. You couldn't ask for a better middle finger for him to have.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're a Punk fan, you'd want to win, but he got what
Yeah,
he always wanted 10, 12 years ago. He There were times where he deserved that main event, and they
Yeah.
wouldn't give it to him. You
And he put
remember there
on
were
a
times where
classic. He didn't just get it,
there
he
were
put on
times,
a classic.
well, even beyond that, there were times where he was WWE champion,
And
and
didn't
he
get it.
wasn't the main event of certain pay-per-views, now PLEs.
Yeah.
They really were like kind of screwing with him a little bit back then. So now he left and he got his moment. He got night one, and then people said, "Well, was it night two?" Now he's got night two. So what you gonna say
Yeah.
now?
What you
You
got to
can't
say
even say.
now? Him and
Can't
his
say now.
woman walked in there with gold.
Yeah.
Like, come
So
on, dog.
overall, I think night two definitely made up for any dislike that someone might have had for night one. If you walked out of there after night two and you were still unhappy, then I mean, look,
You was
I
hate
don't know
watching
what to tell you.
anyway.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I get night one. If you
Hell
weren't
yeah.
fully happy, but after night two, if you're still mad, then you know what, man? Might
Send him
be
a
time for
cape,
you to find
TJ.
something.
Send him a
Yeah,
cape,
here's a
TJ.
cake. Could you be super mad then? You know? But yeah, so that's what we wanted to do. Like I said, we know it's a couple days later, and it's we've been traveling. Like
Oh,
WrestleMania was Sunday night. We went out to Gronk Beach party. I didn't get back to my hotel until about 3:15, and then I had a
yeah.
6 o'clock flight. Had
Uh,
to go straight to the Rich Eisen show, and then had to turn around, get home, and unpack and then repack to come to Pittsburgh the next morning for the NFL draft. That's where I am. So I know I'm beat. I know you're beat, but
hell yeah.
it was a fun weekend. And like I said, Gronk Beach was dope because Gronk Beach is going on, and then here comes Trick, here comes Oba. They're up on stage, the crowd showing them love, and we got to hang out with them for a little bit. And I'm like, this is like blowing my mind. It's like hanging out with Randy Savage after he won the title in WrestleMania 4. I could never
Yeah.
imagine. It's like hanging out. With Hogan after he slammed Andre in WrestleMania 3. I can't imagine. And here we are hanging out with
Yeah, he
Trick,
would have kicked it with
hanging out
us.
with Lash. No, maybe not. But Trick and Lash and Oba, getting also, we got to chop it up with Julius Creed,
Yeah.
and he's a guy who I'm waiting on, man. I'm like, what's going on with these Creeds, man? They're too
Right.
good to be sitting around. But
Yes.
he was
Cool
a
dude.
cool cat. So we got to hang out with some cool people, met a lot of dope fans. Like a lot of you people out there seem to really like what we're doing here. And it honestly, for you as an actor, you get love all the time. I see it at the matches. It's almost like he ain't all that. Why are you showing him so much love? No, I'm joking. It's just amazing to see the amount of love you get. Me, I'm just a regular type cat, man. So for people to come up to me and say, I love the pod, I love the Rich Eisen show, I'm just not used to that, bro. So I do appreciate people stopping us, yelling from the rafters, showing love to no contest. It's really dope and great weekend. Shout out to our boy Chuck Rice.
Yeah, Charles Rice,
Got his
who
final
and the
check.
Lakers just beat the Rockets again. I'm about to call you, Chuck. I'm about to call you, baby.
So we got that. Who hung out with Sheamus a little bit. That was
Right.
cool. To kick it with
Big
Sheamus.
dog.
And there was a party going on. We kicked it with Sheamus, and it was cool just to chop it up with him. Rey Mysterio. We were talking to Rey Mysterio. I specifically was in the middle of a conversation with him, and the DJ starts playing his song, and I'm looking at Rey Mysterio, and I'm like, "Booyaka, booyaka," and I was like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah,
singing Rey Mysterio's song
yeah,
in front
right
of Rey
next to Ray.
Mysterio." Shout out to our guy, All Ego Ethan Page. Had a nice
Good.
chat with him.
Nice chat with him.
Uh, nice chat with him, and then we see he gets called up to the main roster. So
Yeah,
Ethan Page, even though he plays kind of an arrogant d-bag on TV, that's just a character, folks. And I'm
genius.
not going to tell you that he's a really dope guy because I don't want to mess up his character. So I'll leave it at that. Man, the heck with Ethan Page, he's a jerk.
I love
Hello.
him.
Yeah, man. So we got overall, we saw some great matches. We saw some
Yeah.
suspect matches. We saw
Mhm.
some stars being made. We saw
Yeah.
legends leave the game. We got to see
Uh,
one more John Cena appearance in the ring. Hopefully that won't
right.
be last. We met some great people. Fun time was
Shout
had all around.
Want to shout out my girl, my zebra cake, Universe. All right, because it's looking like she might be another superstar being called up. As of right now, she did get beat up in her match at NXT. But That's
But she's
usually a
she's
sign of things to come.
well, no, she's at Raw now. She got
Yeah, she's
called up.
wrong. She got to go. She got to
Yeah.
go. And
No,
you know,
she did get called up yesterday on
oh well,
Raw.
then it's a wrap. It's a wrap,
Yeah,
bro.
but she
One
had
of
her
her
last
sole
match
rookies.
against her. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah, she's Raw. Ethan Page goes to Raw. We'll see what other NXT people get called up. But yeah, that was our time at WrestleMania, man. And
yeah,
as of right now, it doesn't look like we'll be going to next year's WrestleMania because it's in Riyadh.
so yeah,
So maybe by this time next year, no contest, we'll have a watch party or something
yeah.
in case that we can't get
Hey,
to the match.
hey, we might even think a little bigger. I know a lot of them indie promotions might not have a place to go for WrestleMania weekend for the event. Maybe we can sponsor something down the road. We don't know. We
Yeah.
don't know what's happening.
You know what else happened, by the way? It just hit me. Jamie Iovine somehow at Gronk's Beach, Ted DiBiase Jr. was there. This is major.
Yeah,
Ted DiBiase Jr. had the original $1 million title. I have a picture with it.
signed by
I'll
his
have D'Lo put
dad.
it in. He gave it to Jamie Iovine, and Jamie's like, "What am I supposed to do with this?" He
Yeah,
goes, I don't know where Ted's at. He just said it's yours, and I don't want to keep it. I'm like, "Well, don't let him give it to me, because I'll keep
right.
it." But yeah, so that was cool to be able
Yeah,
to hold that $1 million championship. I was like, if this is like the legit original belt, this is historic right here, man. So that was
yeah,
just,
bro.
just when it happens, there's always the little things. We run into Carmelo Hayes and him and Kalani Jordan. Melo wants to come on the pod. The amount of wrestlers who told us that they rock with the pod and they know about us, and that's humbling, man, because those are the
Bro, how about
guys that like
whoa?
we
Haker said when you want the real for whatever Godfather stories he told you, come to me. We
the
got to get that
Undertaker.
Taker episode, bro. I might have to
Yeah,
hit
man.
TKO. We might need to slide him something.
Yeah. And for everything that we've told you over these last, what, maybe hour and a half, there's still so much more we probably just is escaping our memory right now. But we don't want to keep
Hey
you guys
man,
too long.
we
Just
met
want to say,
somebody else too, but I'm gonna keep that on the low.
yeah,
Keep
but
that on
that
the
looks like
low.
some. I know, but to other people, that looks like a Satan symbol. So don't do that because I don't think people. Yeah, that looks weird. I know what it is, but I'm
Uh-huh.
sure my mom will watch it. Why is she throwing up devil horns? No, bruv. Listen, bruv. It's not a okay. I was
Listen,
kicking it with a
man.
bruv. All right.
Yeah, that's all. That's all. We was kicking it, kicking it.
A billy goat. We were kicking with a billy goat for a little bit too, and that was fun. And just a great time with
Story for
y'all,
another
man.
time.
So
Story for another time.
for another time. But yeah, thank you to all of us. Thank you to all of you who ride with us, who've been watching us, who have great things to say to us and encourage us to keep doing this. It means a lot. And yeah, man, it's been a blast. This is my, I don't know, fourth or fifth straight WrestleMania. So it's
Yeah.
like you want to talk about a boyhood dream. This is a boyhood dream. As a kid who would never have been able to go to WrestleMania, to be able to do this now it's amazing. So
Yeah, man, and we will continue to keep growing the show. The mouse has been calling for, like we said in the beginning, a couple of more from us. So it's all thanks to you guys. So let's keep this train going. And also, when we are on TV, give your boys some good ratings. Come on, dog. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But yeah, TJ, I don't know about you, dog, but I'm about to call Lily White. I'm about to hit these sheets, man.
I don't even know what that was, but
Lily White, you ain't never. No, that's so. My grandmother used to tell my mom when she was little. We going to a party. Yeah, what party? We're going to Lily White's. It was just her sending my mom to bed to go to sleep. The Lily White sheets. But I'm about to hit that, bro. I couldn't have asked for uh, a better week. With WrestleMania. My Rams thing. I just got a trailer. Just drop idiots. Make sure y'all check that out. August
yeah.
28th. I'm gonna be promoting
Yeah, we didn't
every
even talk
episode.
about we didn't even talk about it. Make sure you check out his Rams video he and Chris
Yeah.
Tucker's son did, which was Thursday. Phenomenal. Idiots is coming out. Check out that trailer. It's great. Your mama. I'm gonna clip that, and from now on, even though I want to leave, and I know Don Bowie's like go home, but there's one last thing. For as many times as I want to yell at you about, man, stop tweeting these people. Don't give these people
Yeah.
your energy, folks. The amount of wrestlers that came up to this man and basically saying they live vicariously through his tweets and how they love it. There was at least 7 of them, and I was like,
Yo,
he's never
shout
going
out
to
Jordan
stop.
Grace. Shout out Jordan
Jordan
Grace. That
Grace, she
was
was one of them. She was one of them. There was, like I said, there were more of them that
yeah.
were like, so yeah. So that, unfortunately, if you don't like it, it's probably just going to keep coming. But yeah, but
I'm the
yeah,
heel that
there
you
was a
love to
lot of
hate.
people that were like but yeah, so thanks for everybody that we encountered. Thanks for coming up, saying what's up, and
Yeah.
keep watching. And
We-
as always, to follow us, you know what to do. You go on Twitter X at There's No Contest, Instagram No Contest Wrestling Podcast, TikTok No Contest Wrestling Pod, of course, for your ear gate wherever you listen to pods. We're on the ESPN platform, Amazon, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. Basically, anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find No Contest.
Yes, on behalf of my podcast partner, TJ Jefferson, I am O'Shea Jackson Jr. Make sure y'all have a good day, but not too good. Who the hell you think you are? Bye, Miss
Bye, Miss
Parker.
Parker.